Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back with our Summer of Gaming Reacts. We're reacting to the IGN winners of the Summer of Gaming opening showcase. I did my boy very dirty with that freeze frame right there. Everybody looks like awesome and stoic. Like he looks cool. Dirty. So let's go ahead, check out. This is the breakdown of all the best of the opening showcase. Cuts out all the fluff, the ads, games nobody really cares about. Some people care about, but this is going to be a breakdown of all the AAAs and all that they showed and stuff. So let's go ahead, check it out.
Back to Next Gen Console Watch right here on IGN Summer of Gaming. As we wrap things up for the show, we saw a ton of games today. I want to hear from each of us. Find out which game we're personally the most excited for. Okay, our personal picks for game of the show. Max, let's start with you. What was your favorite?
I really like Sandland. Yeah. Like, I'm really excited about this game. It looks like an open world game where you're a demon with a tank, but also like,
come on, man.
You know, to my point, I think it.
They showed Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, a new Prince of Persia,
Tears of the Kingdom scale experience.
Like,
this isn't going to be another Elden Ring.
And you pick
like
Sandland.
A fun time to goof around. You know,
like, yeah, don't get me wrong. This game does look good.
You know, it's again.
But this was not the game of the showcase, by no means. They showed Alan Wake 2.
At all.
Like,
so, you know, it's something familiar yet unfamiliar at the same time.
Although I will give it, this is like
I should, you know, dig into this a little
Dragon Quest creators, big Dragon.
Franchise
like
I love is the Yakuza series.
Toriyama is behind this. Like, don't get me wrong, this is like one of my top 5 interests, but I don't know if this was game of the showcase.
Very near and dear to my heart. He basically retired in Yakuza 6. That was supposed to be his whole swan song. That was it. And then he popped up, made a guest appearance. And this is the Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. But we're all well aware that his name.
But I'm not gonna lie, this is giving me big DBZ vibes.
There's too many good games. Like there's too many games to play.
Like the Capsule Corp machines and all that. And
it's being developed by Ilka, which is I think they did Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Okay.
And then they've done support for Dragon Quest and some Ace Combat games as well, because it's being published by Bandai Namco.
Oh.
The official word says you dive into a desert world where both humans and demons.
I'm actually interested then. I'm very interested.
Play as and watch the Fiend Prince Beelzebub, Sheriff Rao, and Demon Thief set off on an adventure in search of a legendary spring hidden in the desert.
Sure. Not enough water. I'm into it.
Okay, so Sandland, Max's pick. Let's see, John, what was your pick for game of the show?
I mean, like, there's the obvious stuff like Mortal Kombat and Spider-Man I think look amazing, but for me, and this was the same at opening night live at Gamescom, I think it's Lies of P.
Well,
I thought, and I was genuinely surprised by this trailer.
It does look good.
Kind of
Lies of P does look good.
Expanded on what I thought it was. I thought, like, from the last trailer, I thought it was very clearly aping Bloodborne and trying to fill the Bloodborne gap that we're all feeling. But it seems from today that it's so much more than that, and like the design of the creatures looks really fantastic. That thing with the crown at the end, I thought that was sort of like wooden and robotic, and like the way that they're bringing the puppet imagery in and kind of making it these kind of like creepy constructions and stuff. I just think it looks.
This game does look beautiful.
It looks like Bloodborne and it looks like BioShock, but in a way that also looks like its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is right on that.
I am very bad at this.
And slight Death Stranding vibes.
You count yourself as a fan of Souls-like games?
Not really, no. They frustrate me endlessly because I'm too old and my reaction times aren't good enough.
My reaction times are shit.
Something about this, I want to like the design. There's BioShock, and then there's that thing that looks like it's wearing an English police helmet that was crawling up the building. Has what was the game that
We
came
Happy
out?
Few.
We Happy Few aesthetic, right? Where there's lots of things that are a little bit unsettling visually, and like
look at the coloring of her hair, like that blue shade, like that.
Yeah,
that was ridiculous.
There's a lot of excitement for this game. I don't think there are that many very popular Souls-like games that aren't made by FromSoft. There's like
no, but I think this might be one of them.
Lords of the Fallen, the original incarnation, had done very well 7-8 years ago.
Yeah. Remnant, which is getting a sequel. There was, God, what's the one that was really extremely bleak?
Extremely bleak.
Mortal Shell.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm wondering what the scale of this game is going to be, and I think it's totally forgivable if it's not, quite as beefy as your usual FromSoft game.
Is that Monstro too, by the way?
I hope not.
Submarine.
I want a proper.
That would be awesome if that's their version of Monstro, giant submarine.
Okay, Ryan, your game of the show.
Well, I already cheated and gave it to you earlier, but it's still Alan Wake 2. Yeah, there was some good stuff
I'm not
today.
a big
I mean, I'd
horror
give an
guy,
honorable
but
mention,
Alan
shout
Wake
out
2 does look good.
to Warhammer, to Space Marine 2.
Oh,
that
yeah.
looked like that. I mean, that looked awesome. That just looked like a fun time. But I'm coming back to Alan Wake 2. I mean, it's a game that I had pretty honestly given up on ever getting the long-awaited sequel for after whatever.
It looks like a good game. I'm just not a big
13
horror
years
game
now.
fan.
So
If
the
you're
fact
into
it's
horror
happening
games,
and
this is going to be the
it's,
game
you know,
of the year for you.
Remedy, I think, again, I think they're an underrated developer. They've only, to my opinion, is they have exactly one blemish on their resume in their entire 20-something year existence, and it was they did the not super great, totally forgettable campaign for the very forgettable Xbox game Crossfire X. That Smile Bit?
Smile
Gate?
Smile Gate.
I always confuse
Smile
those
Bit's
two.
the Sega
Did
thing.
it was their game, they did the multiplayer, and they contracted Remedy to do a single player campaign. I played it, I just didn't think it was that good. But literally everything else that Remedy's ever done has been at worst really good and at best phenomenal.
Like,
The
yeah,
first
this
two
game
games-
looks
Why did
amazing.
you
Like the
give it up? 'Cause,
lighting,
like,
the
for me, I've
shadows,
always, and it's weird because it's not now. I've always
all that. But
thought
I'm
of
just
Alan
not a
Wake
big horror
as
game fan.
firmly an Xbox game because it's
Yeah,
like
well-
you associated with the Xbox 360 so much.
Did
Right.
Microsoft publish it?
They did.
Yeah, yeah.
And they parted ways as a
Like,
exclusive
see,
partner
that
with
jump
Remedy a
scared
long
about that.
time ago, and it just didn't seem like any other publishers
yeah,
wanted to
there.
pick the game up and do the sequel. So
Cool.
I just, I didn't think it was ever going to happen because, this is, as you can see, this is not a low budget game. Like there's a lot
no,
going
by
into
no
this.
means.
And so that is, and the first one sort of famously didn't sell well at the time, and then Remedy has since said that like it kind of was one of those word of mouth things where over time it ended up putting up some good numbers. So just, when you look at the business of the video game industry, which sadly is extraordinarily risk averse, especially in the AAA space, that's why I honestly said I had given up on this ever happening. So when this was announced, I was thrilled, and now that I'm actually
yeah,
seeing
see,
it,
I'm
and
just like,
it's this close, like
do.
it looks every bit worth the wait. I mean, it looks fantastic.
On a similar note, I don't think anyone expected a third season of Twin Peaks like 18 years later or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's
No
I guess
no
it's almost
shot.
approaching that point where people are nostalgic for the original.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you think we have the success of Control to thank for the fact that we're getting Alan Wake 2?
I mean, did Control even sell that well? Because it was.
It won a lot of awards.
Yeah, from us, from Game of the Year.
Yeah.
But hey, anything
Sure.
it helped bring Alan Wake's name kind of back into the public consciousness, and for that, I am thankful. And Control, by the way, great game. You should play it if you haven't played it already.
Well, I'm also very excited for Alan Wake 2, but my pick's going to go to Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. That was a nice, very
That does
pleasant
look good.
surprise of the show. I
That
was not
does look
expecting that
good.
at all. I like Prince of Persia games in general, and I also very much like Metroidvania games. So
That's
seems
going to
like,
be
definitely
the
right up my alley.
platformer of the year
It'll
for
be interesting
sure.
to see. Ubisoft is not known for making Metroidvania games, but I really like the look of it, and from all the description of how Ubisoft describes the game, it seems like they're hitting all the right
It's
notes
the
for
right
what a
studio
Yeah.
inside of Ubisoft.
Which
right?
one is it?
It's Montpellier.
Oh, okay.
Who did the
I like how they kind of
That's right, yeah.
stuck to like the cartoon
This looks really
animation
cool. I just hope
style.
they sort of like follow the template.
That's
ma-
nice.
Something
That's
like
a nice
Metroid
aesthetic.
Dread established for a sort of AAA 2D Metroidvania game from a huge publisher.
4 minutes left.
This
in
on your radar,
this.
Ryan?
It is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just reminded me, like we were just talking about Alan Wake 2, which Epic is publishing, so we have Epic to thank for funding this thing. And then, now you're talking about this pleasant surprise of Prince of Persia coming back as a Metroidvania. You're just reminding me
It does look good.
we
Like
need to fuse those
the
two.
combat
We need
looks
Epic
good.
to let Donald Mustard
I know,
and Team
Shadow
Chair
Complex.
make Shadow Complex
Oh,
2.
wow,
That's
yes.
another one that
Yeah.
another Metroidvania
wow.
that I would like to will into existence after many years.
I think Shadow Complex 2 is designed in like
Okay.
to completion basically. It just never got made. I think it's all on
Even
worse.
worse.
Bow
It's
skills
even
are
worse
nice.
at Epic.
To a degree.
How would we grade the show after now that another summer game fest is in?
I give it about
about 2 hours long. Lots and lots of games.
Nobody wants to go first, huh? All right. I mean,
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I'll give it a C.
C. Okay.
Yeah.
It was decent. It felt like there was quite a lot of filler.
Yeah, I'll
Lots of filler,
agree.
yes.
the peaks were good, but they
I'll
weren't
agree.
like blow it out of the water good.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was
a good
solid and
showcase, but it
competent
wasn't,
and
like-
above a pass.
Oh
but,
my
like,
God,
I don't
God
think
of
it was like,
War.
oh my God, did you see Summer Game
I
Fest?
think you can
Yeah.
maybe cut about half of it out.
Yeah.
Make it a tight hour, and then you've just got Mortal Kombat and Prince of Persia and Final Fantasy VII and Spider-Man 2 release dates and just the big hits.
A lot of it was very like it's
They're
close.
not wrong there.
It's a reality. This wasn't a bunch of CG trailers. This wasn't a bunch of just sizzle.
Yeah.
Which I
It-
think,
That is
Jeff
true.
certainly has, some big reveal. I feel like Gamescom was very, very heavily CG late.
Yeah.
last
He's
year.
not
So it was
wrong
nice to see a
about
bunch of
that.
stuff
It
where,
was
here's
very
gameplay, here's
gameplay
release
heavy.
dates. It's all stuff
They
that
showed a
feels
lot of
achievable,
gameplay.
realistic.
It wasn't
That
just a
said,
lot of CG
I'm kinda with you.
trailers
We
or
threw a lot here, but
banners
7 out of
or
10.
logos.
I mean, it was good and it was
So-
positive, and there were very few things.
I'll give it a
like,
B. I'll give it a B.
You know, like in fact, the only no for me really was maybe the Twisted Metal thing, which wasn't even a game.
yeah.
So like really,
I'll give it a B.
So I think generally it was there's a lot of
Twisted
really
Metal. Go check out my. I did a trailer react
Yeah,
to the
I mean,
Twisted Metal one. Go check
Jeff
that out.
Keighley gets, for me, a lot of credit because first of all, he's doing this 3 times a year.
Yeah.
3 times. This opening night live at Gamescom and the Game Awards. So,
Yeah.
and I've helped work on smaller versions of this kind of thing at IGN before, and it's so much work to put it together, and just convincing developers and publishers to partner with you and trust you to show off their thing. And Jeff's trying to, he doesn't want to make it too top heavy where it's just Mortal Kombat and Final Fantasy
Give
and
Jeff
only the,
Keighley a
AAA
break.
highest
Leave our
caliber
boy
stuff.
Jeff Keighley
You gotta
alone.
Have a nice mix and represent the entire industry, but yeah, inevitably I think
DeLorean
there's that
motor.
tough line to
He has a
walk, right?
DeLorean Motor Company
We could've
shirt.
had 30
That's
minutes trimmed
legit.
off of this, and it would have been a much tighter show for the viewer. But again, I recognize and respect Jeff for trying to just showcase as much of the industry and give as many games, both big and small,
and
the
particularly
chance
at
to
a
shine
time
as they
where they'd all backed away from the traditional event, right?
Yeah.
So it was sort of I would assume that it was doubly challenging because most of the industry had said, look, yeah, we don't want to do E3.
Right.
I think the biggest takeaway, the most important thing to keep in mind is that it is illegal to slaughter and eat the Pokemon with guns.
Nah, man. That game does look good. Alrighty, y'all. Thanks for watching. That'll do it for this one. I'm going to be doing more Summer Game Fest reacts. I know the Xbox Showcase is Sunday along with the couple more. So don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.